Today we're going to talk about the B minor chord and give you a couple of workarounds if you're struggling. Stick around. Hello everyone, it's James from Practice Like a Pro, providing you with simple, clear guitar tips to help you on your guitar playing journey. So I want to talk about B minor chords today. It's a sticking point for a lot of guitar players. We had a question in one of the Facebook threads that I'm part of. It's called the Eagles Guitar Group. I'll put a link to it in the video description. It's a really great community. If you're learning guitar, there's a lot of people there with a lot of great experience that you can learn from. There was a discussion in that group about B minor chords and whether there were any kind of workarounds. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through the minor chord, the actual bar chord, and give you some tips to try and make your life a little bit easier. But also I've got two workarounds as well that you can use in a sort of strumming context. Let's start with the bar chord. So we're going to start with an A minor bar chord shape on the 2nd fret of the A string. So his root is here on the 2nd fret. We're going to bar with his index finger, and then we're going to press the 3rd fret of the B, and then with his 3rd and 4th fingers we're going to press the 4th fret of the D and the G. So my first part of call with any bar chord is to make sure that you're not too far back on the fret. So in this case, I'm getting as close to that 3rd fret as I can without sort of passing that threshold. So I'm going to bar that with my index finger, and I'm going to twist my finger to catch the higher notes of the chord. Another great thing that you can do is use the tip of your index finger to touch the low E string to stop it from ringing out. So when I strum all 6 strings, I'm not getting anything from that low E string. And when we're strumming, you don't have to worry about missing that low E string. One thing I mentioned in my face-to-face lessons is when you're playing bar chords, I should be able to take a pencil and put it underneath. There should be a gap between your palm, where the knuckles are of your palm, and the bottom of your neck. Now, if you're holding it like this, if you're holding it like you're holding a cricket bat, you haven't got any movement in your fingers. So bring that thumb back, bring it to the back of the neck, and can you see my index finger straightening out? Your elbow should be nice and loose and dropped. If you're really tense, you're going to restrict the motion further down your arm and into your wrist. A common workaround that you can use if you're struggling with the bar is, instead of barring with your index finger on the 2nd fret, just press the 2nd fret on the high E string and strum it like you'd strum a D chord. Now, it's not as grand a sounding as the proper one, but it's very similar to a F major 7 chord. If you've ever looked at one of them, you can kind of think of it as moving it up a fret and down a string, and it's the same kind of 4-finger collection that you've got, just on different strings. Let's walk you through that. So my index finger's going on the 2nd fret of the high E string. My middle finger's going on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then my 3rd and my 4th fingers are going on the 4th fret of the D and the G. And we strum that like a D chord from the D string downwards. One final thing that I don't see a lot of tutors talking about is you can substitute some chords for another. Now, try not to. It's more to dig you out of a hole and get you playing as opposed to a long-term solution. So please do carry on with the bar chords and try and get them where they need to go. But if you actually play a D major chord instead of B minor, providing you've got a bass player in your group and they're playing what we call the root note, which is, in this case, B, if you play a D chord on top of that, you turn, between you and the bass player, you turn that into a B minor 7 instead of just a B minor. So instead of creating this chord, between you and the bass player, or the record that you're playing along to, you get this, which is a fancy B minor chord, is a B minor 7. I'll put another card up. I talked about 7th chords in a video last week. And all it is instead of it being a 3-note chord, what we call a triad, it's a 4-note chord. Now, you're playing all the fancy bits and leaving the root note up to the bass player. Now, some people do this anyway in sort of singer-songwriter strumming context, because D's just a lot easier. But like I said, disclaimer, it's not a long-term solution, it's just something to dig you out of a hole. Please do carry on practicing the other chords. I hope some of those tips helped you with the B minor chord. It is a tricky one, and it's a bit like F when I'll put a card up. We talked about F last week, and it is a sticking point for a lot of players, but don't give up. Keep going, and the strength in your hands will come. But if you don't practice it, you're not going to get any better at it. Which of the 3 variations do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. If you like what we do here at Practice Like a Pro, please do consider subscribing on the icon above. And if you've got some time and would like to learn something else, please do consider watching one of his other videos. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Keep practicing like a pro. Cheers.